Okay, chapter 4 is on extensions of Mendelian genetics. So in this chapter, we're going to relax some of the assumptions of Mendel. So the P's that he studied were not, the P's and the alleles and the phenotypes that he studied were not a complete example of what can occur. And so now we're going to relax some of those assumptions and look at some real world examples of situations that don't follow those rules and kind of why they don't. So this could be because dominance recessiveness doesn't always occur. And so what happens if alleles interact in different ways? How can they affect phenotype? You can have more than two alleles. So what happens in those situations? Sometimes you have multiple genes that affect the same trait. So both using Punnett square to understand that, and then complementation test to determine if mutations affect the same gene or different genes, and then finally epistasis, understanding epistasis, and then using it to order genes and molecular pathways. So his simple rules didn't always apply, and so the rules that we are going to cover, one is dominance. So one allele is dominant to the other, so that doesn't always have to be the case. And so one way to say that an allele is dominant is to say that AA equals big A, little a. So these genotypes have the same phenotype, and so that's not always the case. You can also have more than two alleles per gene. You can have a situation where one gene controls, more than one gene controls a character, and then each organism carries two alleles. So we'll see how all of these situations occur. So there'll be three parts of this lecture. So I'm going to break them up into allelic number and their interactions. So looking at alleles, situation where multiple genes control a character, and then finally complementation and sex-linked traits.